Hello, people. Today, I would like to end you guys copying and pasting the same keyframes over and over and over again because you don't know how to do the simple thing of making them loop. Please stop copying and pasting keyframes. Please just stop.
This is your time.
All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the simple and easy and quick expression that you can learn to be able to loop your compositions, loop your keyframes, loop all kinds of things, and it is called loopOut. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you this simple thing over here. So what I've got is I have the wheel here, right? I just want to make sure. Good. Okay, so I've got my wheel here, and you can see that I'm just going to take this out. Okay, so you can see that I have two keyframes, right? I've got one on rotation. You can see that the rotation is at 0 at that keyframe, and then in 8 seconds I make it rotate one time, right? And then it stops. Now if I come back over here, you can see that I have like these rotating wheels and all that jazz, and it goes on and on and on, right? Great stuff. Okay, so this is a composition within a composition. Okay, but I want it to keep rotating so that I can kind of play with it and do stuff with it. But the problem is that if I don't know how to do this, I have to do stuff like this. And this is dumb. This is dumb to do this. I don't like it. It's a waste of time and it's stupid. And if I go like this, I go, okay, so in 8 seconds it goes once. So in 16 seconds, I can like copy and paste, or I can say I go twice or whatever, right? I'm gonna start copying and pasting this over and over and over again, okay? And that gets even more complicated when you see people do this with, 16 keyframes or whatever, right? Let me show you the simple and easy way to do this, and I'll show you on two different things. We'll do the rotation here, and then I'll also just do a quick position move, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to get your keyframes down, and then you're going to hold Alt, and you're going to click on the stopwatch. It's important that you're holding Alt as you're doing this, because if you don't, then you're going to delete all your keyframes. Then that will open up your expressions menu, right? In your expressions menu, you can just start typing stuff in here. But if you're like me and you don't understand code and you can't remember stuff, right? There's this little circle and this little arrow in here called the expression language menu. You can click on that and go to property, and you're going to choose loopOut, okay? Now, loopOut is like this. Now, if you want to type this out, the important thing is that the O needs to be capitalized. Otherwise, everything will break. Okay? The important stuff is loopOut type equals something. Okay? Now, there are two things that you can put here. One is cycle. The other one is ping pong. Okay? And I'll show you ping pong in a minute. Okay? But if we go like this and we play this through and it's loopOut cycle, there are no more keyframes after this, but it just continues. That's really cool. Okay, loopOut cycle. Okay, so that's great, right? And so I'm just going to play this through. It continues to go like that. That's great. Okay, awesome. So it keeps going. Now, if I were to change inside of these quotations to ping pong, all one word, like that. Okay, then what it will do, just like a ping pong match, it'll go back and forth and back and forth. Cycle goes through, and when it hits the end, it jump cut to the very beginning, right? And it starts over again, okay? Whereas ping pong goes this way, and then it's going to play it in reverse. And so instead of playing this like that, when it hits this, it's going to reverse and go back. And so what you'll see is it starts this way, and then it's going to turn around, okay? And then it'll go back, and then it'll turn around. It's going to ping pong back and forth. Let me show you what that looks like. Turn this back to cycle. Let me show you what that looks like on a position, okay? And so I'm going to take, I'm just going to take a ball here. Let's just grab one of these. I'll just grab this like this. Okay, so I'm going to take tire here. Okay, I'm going to take this, and let's move it over here like this, okay? And then I am going to go to position. Okay, and I'll turn that on. And then in I don't know, 15 frames or so. I'm just going to move it across the screen like that. Okay. And so it will just move by itself across the screen. Okay, that's great. But if I want to loop that, I can Alt-click, and I can type out loop, capital U-O-T, right? Loop out, open and close parentheses, and then I put type equals, and then in quotes, I'm going to put ping pong. Okay, or you can choose it from the menu, either one. And then click above that to commit that, and now what will happen is it will play it forward and back. See, it will continue to ping pong back and forth, right? Now, if I change this in the middle, if I change the type to cycle, okay, then it will jump cut. So instead of playing it, see how it just continues to jump cut? Those are the two different things. Now, the cool part about this is that you can just do this on anything that has keyframes, right? Now, here's the trick. If you want an entire composition to loop, you have to use a time dealio, right? And so that's when, I'm going to get out of this. Let's delete that. Just going to put this back where it was. Let's get rid of the position there and be back up there. All right, great. So if I have, I'm just gonna make a new composition here. Well, a new composition, white is fine. That's great. Turn this on, and let's put a tire in there. All right. So we've got our tire, okay? And let's say that we just want it to start off screen. Position, go, and then we'll just do 1 second this time, and we'll move it across like that. Okay. So in 1 second it moves from the left to the right. Okay. Now. That's what that's going to do, right? It's going to do that, okay? And so inside of this this tire composition, and I'm going to call this comp 1, okay? I'm going to make another one. New composition, we'll just call this comp 2, is fine, right? So now we take comp 1, which has the tire composition moving across. We're going to put it inside of comp 2, okay? And so it moves it across, right? But it stops at 1 second. It doesn't do anything else. Okay, because inside of that composition, it doesn't do anything else. Okay, so here's where the trick comes in. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to time, enable time remapping. Right click on the composition itself and go to time, enable time remapping, or you can press Control Alt T if you'd like. Okay, and so when I do this, you are now going to be able to keyframe time, and I'll do another video on this by itself. But what you can do is you can say, all right, at 0, be 0, okay? And at 15 seconds, you'll notice if we use K to jump forward, that it's at 15 seconds. So if we go back to 0, okay? At 1, I can add a keyframe here, okay? And now it'll just do what it does. It'll go across at 1, right? I'm going to delete this other keyframe. Okay, and so if I had a loop out expression on this, loop out properties menu, click property, click loop out. Okay, we'll just leave it on cycle. Okay, it will just loop itself. Because what it's doing is it is playing through and it's looping out the time on the thing, right? Now, I'll do another video on time remapping, but just for fun, you can also go cycle and change that to ping pong, right? And now it is going to go from 0 to 1 and then back to 0. And even though it doesn't do that inside of comp 1, it doesn't do that, right? It goes to 0 to 1 and then just stops, right? So in comp 2, I can play it forward and play it in reverse over and over and over again. And it'll continue to do that because I've got it doing a ping pong. I can also, with this, and I'll get into more of this in another video, I can slow it down by spreading out these things, and now it'll play it slower. Okay, or I can speed it up by bringing those together because it's still just keyframing time. So we keyframe time itself. Okay, I can go like this, and I can say right here, I want it to pause. So I'm going to click that, move it forward, copy and paste. So it doesn't do anything. I can have it go like that, and then it reverses. I can have it right here. I can just increase this time to somewhere about there, right? And then I can move it here, and I can reverse it. Okay, and then I can move it here, and I can move it forward. And so then as it plays through there, you go like that. It's going to stop. It's going to move back. It's going to go forward and back. Okay, and all of that is happening even though that isn't happening inside of that composition. So I'm just scrubbing back and forth. I'm keyframing the playhead inside of that composition, which is cool. But the main point is, if you want things to loop, use the loopOut expression and use type equals cycle if you would like it to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or type equals ping pong if you would like it to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, right? If you want it to go back and forth. Got myself confused. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, right? Goes back and forth for ping pong. Cycle just goes through, okay? So that is that. And if you want to check out more of my stuff, you can go to CoryKerr.com. I've got lots of cool things there, and I have a whole playlist full of videos talking about how to teach illustrators and designers how to make things move in After Effects called AI to AE. So make sure that you check out AI to AE. This has been the simple and easy way to loop inside of After Effects. Go check out my stuff. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz, and we'll catch you.